And we'll be heading right down this way.
Oh, you don't know that. Go ahead.
This is gonna be awesome.
I wonder if we're going to the bridal suite. Goes out on the patio. What? Goes out on the patio. This is the haunted patio. It is. I shouldn't have worn my jacket on this, but whatever. It's okay. I shouldn't have put my jacket back on.
What's your
No, it's okay.
guest services?
Yeah,
Guest
told you
services?
some.
Step in, everybody.
Oh, sorry.
We got the mood lighting on, so this is great.
Oh, gee. Last time I was on the ghost tour, I hid in the closet in this room and scared everyone.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I went in first and just hid in the closet and then popped out. It was great.
Okay, so this is one of our haunted rooms. Now, I'm just going to step right behind you here. So they do say our haunted room is room 473, which is 2 levels above us. But there is a reason why I'm bringing you in this room specifically, and I'll tell you the reason in a moment. Now, the story behind room 473 is that back in the day there was a lady that was supposed to get married in one of the quaint churches downtown to her husband was a sailor. Now, when she got to the altar, he never showed up. Now, we don't know if it is because he didn't want to marry her or if he got lost on the sea. So she came back to the hotel room, devastated. She cried all night long. And the next day they found her dead in the room, and they say that she died of a broken heart. So since then we have guests staying beside that certain room in 473, and they call the front desk and they tell us, guys, there's a woman crying in the room beside me hysterically, she's not stopping, and the room is not occupied. We know no one else is and there's nobody in there. Now, a couple of things that have happened in that room. Before the renovations, we used to close every winter on this side of the building. And when we would reopen, every associate had a certain task. Now, our night auditor, her name is Sue, her task was to go into every room and check the alarm clock and the radio to make sure that the clock is running properly and that the radio is working. So she goes into room 473, and the setup is pretty much the same. You have the bed here, and you had an armchair, but the armchair would be sitting in this corner, facing the door. And Sue goes into room 473, and she makes sure everything works well, checks it, everything is great, steps out, and as she steps out, the radio turns on. And she goes back in the room, and this is not a joke. She told me the story herself, and she said, Daniel, I walk back in the room, I look at the wingback chair, and there I see a woman sitting in the chair. And I said, Sue, did you not freak out? What happened? Because I would have been running. And she said, Daniel, I looked at the woman, and she had the calmest smile you can imagine. So she just let her in her chair because it's her room, and she walked out. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this room is we had a couple of ladies, some older ladies that stayed here in this room. And one of them was sleeping on the bed, and the other one was sleeping in the pull-out couch. Now, the lady that was sleeping in the bed was woken up in the middle of the night by what looked like her friend getting out of the bed, going to the bathroom. Now, because of both elderly ladies, she wanted to make sure that she doesn't fall in the bathroom when she gets back to bed. So she waited about 15 to 20 minutes, and her friend never came back. So she turns the light on the side of the bed, and she sees that her friend was in the bed the whole time. One other thing that we actually got an email about, literally about 3 days ago, and I was just now talking to my colleague about it. We had a woman that was staying in this room, again the same setup. She was in the bed and her friend on the couch, and we literally got this email about 2-3 days ago, and she was saying that she was woken up at night to what felt like her dog jumping on the bed and laying on the foot of the bed. And she says, I don't remember what the name of the dog was, but she in the email she said, Fifi, or whatever it was, what are you doing? And then she realized she's not at home. Her dog isn't here. And there she's laying, and she's starting to whisper out the person's name on the pull-out couch, and they're not waking up. And she's frozen to the bed, she said. And she says the other person's name again, doesn't wake up. And she's starting to get up. She kind of jumps up to get out of this frozen state, and her roommate or the other person's name woke up, and she turned the lights on, and she could feel how there was somebody pressed on the bed beside her. So we do have a lot of spirits that are here, but they're all good. They haven't harmed anybody. They're all in good spirit. Now this room itself is one of our junior suites, and it's one of our bridal suites, so it is very popular, and it is a beautiful room as well, as you can tell. Now we also had a couple of ghost hunters that were in this room a few times, and the most popular ones you can actually look up online on YouTube. And what this couple has done, this was also before renovations. They were going in this room, they had the lights completely turned off, and they started to insult the bride. Basically saying, no wonder your husband didn't show up to the altar, and basically saying things like this. And the ghost hunters, there was one male, one female, and they have infrared cameras, all those cameras that you can see in the light, they're in the dark. And they stepped out of the room and they interviewed the lady, the female ghost hunter, and she said, I had the urge that I need to go back into the room and apologize. So she comes back into room 473, and this room is completely black, and all of a sudden, at the one side of the room, you'll see an orb lighting up, and it shoots across the room.
I've seen that one.
To the spirit. You've seen it?
Yes, I watched that video.
Yeah. Perfect. So next up, we're going to head downstairs. We're going to head in our basements. I'm sure, especially some of the parents are familiar with The Shining. They do say that The Shining is based on the Algonquin resort. And if you are familiar with The Shining, if you've read the book, it talks about underground tunnels. And we're going to go into those underground tunnels that Stephen King talked about.
Do you still rent 473?
Definitely do. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful room. It's one of my favorites because you're higher up, so you have a view over the bay, right?
Wow.
We usually don't tell people that there's spirits in there.
Yes.
Some people think it's really neat. Some people are really scared. We've actually had people that have slept in the lobby because they were too scared to sleep in that room. Yeah.
Okay.
They woke up in the middle of the night and said, I can't do it. Like grown men, and they just couldn't handle it. And I'd be one of them. I am terrified of ghosts. Yeah, I can't do it.
Have you seen this? Wait, have you seen this picture of the ghost in that room when they're renovating?
I have seen it, but they did find out that is actually a fake.
Oh, that was fake?
That is not a real picture. That is Photoshopped.
Oh, well, they edited this picture then pretty good.
So there is
Because to me, that looks pretty real.
Yeah.
It does look real.
I know, and I
They've done a really good job.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I didn't know if that was fake because I know they referenced that one other time here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Just head down the stairs.
Okay.
Is everybody okay taking the stairs?
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect.
Hi. I know, but...
Perfect. If anybody is interested in some historic pictures, you'll find some historic pictures all along the wall and around the corner here. I won't go much into detail in it, but some of the pictures are quite amazing, dating back to, I believe, 1904. So very historic pictures. Now we're going to step in what we call the heart of the house, or the back of the house area. So it's not nearly as nicely renovated as this part, so just to give you a heads up, I will also ask you to please stay together, because there is a few pathways off the main hallway, so that nobody gets lost, okay?
We'll play Marco Polo. Welcome to the landing. Oh. Yeah, this is sketchy. We never went down the stairs that last time we saw that one over there. It's the laundry room. You can already smell it. All the boilers. On the cakes. There's the tunnel.
Perfect. So we're about to step into the tunnels. As I mentioned earlier, this is what they say Stephen King included in his book The Shining. Now in The Shining, they do also talk about an outside maze that I'm sure you're familiar with, that we used to have in our indoor swimming pool. And we used to have a caretaker that would take care of the property as well in the wintertime, mostly by himself. So a lot of connections to The Shining. Now Stephen King is just from Bangor, Maine, so he stayed with us multiple times in the hotel as well. Now, you're looking for any activity, this is really the place to be. One thing that we have noticed is since the renovations, not as much activities up on the hallways, but more in the tunnel than we had before. So if you're looking to take pictures, do it here. In the past we've seen hands wave in the pictures afterwards. You'll see some pipes on the side. We've had times where it looked like a boy was sitting on the pipes. And one time I walked in with a couple of guests, and the gentleman told me beforehand that he feels like he attracts spirits, that he has been to old lighthouses and he's seen things in the window, and they've been with us quite a few times. And I said to them, let me take you in the tunnels. And as we walked in, that door was shut, and I opened the door and I hear a child laugh. And they do say there's a spirit of a child. And I had to walk between the two guests. I was too scared to lead the way or be behind anybody. I could not take it. So if you hear a child laugh, I'm gonna run.
You want me to lead the way? I'll record this. We'll see what shows up on this footage.
Yeah.
Hopefully something. You know, this is like what you'd find in a hospital or something
It is,
underground.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's surprising that it's in the Algonquin. Like old insane asylums, they used to have these under.
Really sketch. Imagine walking down here by yourself.
Oh. Central Care in St. John had these tunnels. So does Partridge Island. They still have the tunnels on Partridge Island. I definitely want to go out there. Look, their boiler's leaking. Man, they must have had some pretty untall horses.
Yeah. I just got the chills.
Yeah, so did I.
I just got some chills.
But there's a door right up here to outside. That's why.
Jeez, man.
No worries, that was me, guys.
Yeah, I knew that was you. I could see this all loading there.
Oh my.
Get them every time, I love it, my favorite part.
I'll admit I jumped.
So before we step up the ramp, one thing I want to point out is that if you look on the side, you'll see another tunnel that's about 2 feet in height, and that'll go all the way underneath the front desk.
Where is it?
It's right here, so if you want to step in, you'll see the little ladder leading right up to that tunnel there. And that goes all the way to the bottom of the front desk.
You've been through it before?
I have, yes.
Is it fun?
Not really, it's really tight. So if you just want to...
I can
Sorry?
see you're very tall.
I'm not sure what this tunnel was for. This tunnel, however, was basically horses would have lived on the other side, and all kinds of goods would have been brought underground to the hotel. So once you've seen the tunnel, I am going to ask you
Look at the
streets by.
Patrick, you want to go in?
I'll go in and take a quick peek. I mean, I gotta.
Go together.
Once you've had a look, like this, ask you to have a...
Oh, that goes far back. And it's soaked right here, though.
Hey, imagine someone just starts crawling like backwards.
Look at that. Look what's down there. That looks creepy. That looks like someone's there.
What?
What is that? That's weird. Now, I wish I had my like.
Someone's not.
Now, I wish I had like quarter of a mile flashlight. We could just look right down.
I still can't get over what he did. That scared the shit.
Yeah, I know, but I should have brought it. It's in the room.
Okay, boys, move along.
That sounds great.
We get to see.
I mean, we're such a high-end property that guests did not want to
Excuse me.
see how things operate, right? That would have been
Have you ever given like your guest a heart attack from doing that?
No, that we've had, we have what we call familiarization tours with groups that basically sell us as a hotel. So our sales officers, we've given ghost tours, and we've had people hide around the corner. And we jumped out and they throw wine and they do all kinds of things. Yeah.
Well, when you hear ghost tour, you know what you're getting into. Boiler. Their steam pipe smiles.
Okay, so something.
Perfect. And then just step up. Right in here.
This one's a good one.
Oh, like paint thinner. Look at that old window. Look at the old bed frames. Spirits attached to them for sure.
Perfect. So those were in the tunnel. So as I mentioned, the main use for it back in the day, we would have had horses living just around the corner, and they would have brought all kinds of goods that we need in the hotel underground to the main building. Now we've turned it into a residence building that hosts probably about 80 to 100 staff members in the summertime, and we make it very affordable to them. So it's about $4 a day to live here at the Algonquin Resort, and meal-wise we charge about $4.50 a meal for our staff. So an encouragement for people to come to the East Coast and enjoy the East Coast lifestyle. Now in these tunnels, I was talking about some ghost hunters earlier, and we had some ghost hunters that were here probably about 2 years ago now, just in the winter time. And what we would do in the winter time, or still do, we shut down every Sunday afternoon. We're closed on Monday and Tuesday, and we open Wednesday mornings, just because it is very quiet this time of year over Monday, Tuesday, beginning of the week. So what they've done, they spend a whole night in these tunnels, setting up all their equipment and hoping for things to come up. Now, we have not heard anything from them, so I'm not sure if they found anything. But what I will share with you is before they head down here, they showed me the equipment that they found in one of the jails, of the jail here in St. Andrews, which was one of the first jails, or oldest jails in New Brunswick, and it had one of the last hangings in New Brunswick as well. And they say it is very, very haunted. So what they had this equipment, and they had headphones on it, and they say, Daniel, just listen to it. And I put the headphones on, and you hear static for about 20 to 25 seconds. To the point where I'm thinking, they're crazy. They're just making things up, there's nothing there. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you hear this really clear whisper, this female whisper saying, they say that would have been, back in the day, there would have been a lot of ladies of the night here in St. Andrews, because it was very much to say that now. It was illegal back then. They would have spoken in the jail a lot of times, and they say that one of them is a spirit that is now in the jail. I quickly mentioned the child earlier. So they do say that when we had the fire here in 1914, there was a child that died, as well as a bellman that ran in the fire trying to save the child. So the child we do still hear from time to time. Our executive housekeeper, actually now our guest services manager, Heather King, she will tell you stories that she was putting boxes around, and when she turned around, the boxes were completely different. My favorite story about the child is that when we were undergoing renovations, the main building was completely closed. So we would have our front desk in the lobby, and then all the hallways were shut down for construction. All our guests in the summertime, they would have been in the building across the road from us. So this construction worker, I was working the overnight back then, he would come in at 7 in the morning, and he would do a quick walk around through all the hallways to make sure that there's nobody on site that's not supposed to be there, and to make sure that everything is safe before the workers come in. Now this guy was about my height, big guy, head of construction, wouldn't think he gets scared fairly quickly. Anyways, he was up to the 4th floor, goes down the hallway, and he hears a child's laugh at the end of the hallway. And it's not very well lit. He has to go towards the laugh, thinking there's a child. And he gets closer to it, and he starts hearing footsteps and a child's laugh.
Oh.
And this is not a joke. He comes down that morning, pale, terrified, and he says, Daniel, you will not believe this. I walk down the hallway, and all of a sudden, I can hear the laugh right beside me, and I could feel it touch my leg. Every morning from then on, there was 2 people doing this.
I have a question. Is there someone rattling keys down there? Because I hear something rattling.
It is the water pipes.
Okay. Does there sound like some
water pipes?
clanking?
Well, they do say that there's a night watchman as well. So there's a story of a night watchman that I'll explain real quick. So we did have an employee here. He worked here for about 40 years. And on his final year before he was supposed to retire, he passed away. Now he was a night watchman, so his shift would have started at 11 p.m. ended at 11 a.m., which is the same time that the shifts would start now. And just after we went in that door into the back of the house area, that staircase, a lot of times we get staff that either start their shift at 7 in the morning or finish at 11 at night that hear the jingling of the keys behind them. And they say that it's a night watchman that's doing his rounds and starting his shift. Yes. So we're gonna head back through the tunnels, and
Alright.
we'll tell some more stories then.
Alright. I'm gonna record our way back, find out. See? Yeah?
What do you think?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch this footage pretty carefully though in the tunnel, because I mean we're gonna have something show up here if there's anything. That 4K footage. Low pressure steam.
Yeah. I heard those keys too.
That was not a water pipe, because I heard it come from the little tunnel I walked down in. That's why I walked down in.
Imagine if it was the watchman, dude.
But what was around that corner in that tunnel? Was he seeing that stuff against the wall? That was kind of weird. Look at all the water. I bet those are old lead pipes. Oh, might have been those radiators. No, I really didn't. These are all grease traps. Oh, man. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna say something now.
Don't get lost in the tunnel. Perfect. Now I get to tell you one of my favorite stories, and that's about the bellman. One of my favorite stories because I started here as a bellman, so I feel like I have a connection with him somehow. Now, as I mentioned earlier, he was one of the gentlemen who went into the fire in 1914 to save the child. Now, before I tell the story of him, there's 3 pieces in the hotel, or 1 piece left in the hotel, that was saved from the original fire. One of them is a piano that's just up the stairs, past the dining room. Then the other piece is a little stove that's now in our storage area. And then the other one is our bell desk. My favorite piece is at the golf course right now. And it's the bell desk that was at the front desk back in 1889 to 1914. And when you open the drawer, you can see signatures and they're dated all the way back to 1891. So a lot of history there. So the story of the bellman is that he was an older gentleman, mostly working on the front of the doors when people pull up to the vehicle, to the hotel. And his uniform back in the day would have been a dark blue jacket and beige pants. Now we've had people that in the winter time for the renovations, they would come up to us and they would tell us that they checked in, they got to the elevator, and when they got to the elevator they were greeted by a man, an older gentleman, with gray hair, beige pants and dark blue jacket, who told them about the history of the hotel, history of the town, guided them to the room. And when they got to the room and they turned around wanting to tip him, he was gone, he disappeared. They then come to the front desk wanting to leave a tip for this gentleman, and we'd have to tell him that back then in the winter time, he didn't have any button working before the renovations. So this magical man that just appears, and they always describe him in the same look, same uniform, same style of hair. And another video you'll find on YouTube is My Celebrity Ghost Stories, and that is where we had a celebrity experiencing the bellman, helping him with the luggage actually, and bringing him to the room and telling him the history of the room. And we'll be heading back this way. The story before we head back upstairs. As I mentioned earlier, throughout the renovations, I was working here overnights. So my title, I was overnight security and overnight cleaner, which was terrible because I'm actually scared of the ghosts, and I was literally terrified to go to work every night. So as an overnight cleaner and security guards, I would do rounds of the hotel. So I'd go through the basement every night, through the tunnels, because we have the boilers on the other side, and I'd make sure all the common spaces are clean. For example, these bathrooms behind us. So every night I'd go in and clean them. So one night, in this bathroom, one of my first nights, and I start cleaning the bathrooms, and all of a sudden, all the toilets start flushing. And I went upstairs to our night auditor that I told you about, Sue. And I said, Sue, you won't believe what happened. I cleaned the toilets, they all started flushing. I'm freaking out. She said, Daniel, you idiot, they flush automatically every 30 minutes. So we do have some jokes about that as well. And we'll head right back upstairs. Earlier, the mistake from the fire in 1914, so it's a beautiful piece. that is the end of our ghost tour. Now, if you have any questions at all, come find me, go to the front desk. They are very knowledgeable about some of the spirits. And that's Heather at the front desk that's working right now. So if you have any questions for her, she's experienced a little child herself, so she can tell you some more about that. I hope you had lots of fun here during the tour, and we hope you enjoy your stay with us at the Algonquin Resort. Great. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you for doing the tour.
Oh, you're very
You want to visit the 4th floor?
Yes, we will. Anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.